All righty. Hi, I'm
Hello.
Gary. This is my wife, Lalanda.
How are you?
And this is another episode of Growing Conversations.
Yes.
And right now we're in one of the high tunnels that we have here on the property. And I'm going to swing this around so that the viewers can get a look at what we're doing in our high tunnels and how they're looking so far, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Start this way.
So we'll start this way.
So we have some collard plants that were planted by seed here, and these are doing very good. And we'll let them grow up together like this until they get nice and big, and then I'll transplant some of them out. These were all transplants. They were weak, and I don't know if you remember from our previous video, they were all weak and decrepit looking and dried out. I transplanted those right when the weather changed about 6 weeks ago. So here they are now, standing well. This is Swiss chard, purple, and the yellow. We have some mustard greens planted by seed, stacked, and they're doing wonderful as well. Yes, you see the dust on here. That's cinnamon. I had a little ant problem in here, so I'm doing a little ant control with cinnamon and also a homemade little tonic. I call it an ant tonic. It's orange peels with vinegar and cloves, and I'm misting that. That usually stops the trail immediately. Right now, they're looking for a good place to be warm, and in here it's nice and warm, so of course they want to come in.
62 degrees
It's
inside.
62 degrees. And over in this herb box here, you have lemon balm. There's an artichoke, a globe artichoke in here, some calendia, sage, beets, marjoram. And to this way over here, there's catnip right behind the lemon balm, more marjoram right there, and oregano. And here, beautiful life plants, and they're popping up here, here, and here. And I have some that's also indoors. We have the Lacentino kale, the dinosaur kale, and even some overwintered Genovese basil right behind that, and more lemon balm. So we're having springtime. The tarragon is not doing that great, but believe me, it'll probably come back again. It usually does. Sometimes it'll die a little bit and then it'll come back. And I'm believing that cold frost had gotten to it before we made the tunnel, but I see the green coming back in it already. And back to this side, we have these are papayas. This is a papayas here. I just wanted to make sure they were warm enough so they could survive the spring. And they're doing pretty good over here. That catnip seems to die down some, but it will come back. Also, that ginger and turmeric, those bulbs will be planted for the spring. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't take my harvest. I didn't want to really take my harvest. I just wanted to make sure. So I'll take them up and then put them right back in the ground for the spring. I just wanted to make sure I had a nice harvest. So as my husband is moving back, we have some kiwis that I grew from seed, and they usually produce in the second year, so they're doing pretty good. These are all from seeds. Some white sage this way.
Real strong too. It was
Yes.
very tall, full of seeds.
And then we have some peppers, more life plants, some carrots, and lavender basil, and oregano and Swiss chard. These are transplant Swiss chards again. And that's why I had to make sure I was leaving room for them because they're going to get huge too. They were tiny and withered in the from the outdoors, and we brought them in. We have more
Ginger.
and we have elderberry, burdock
Making its way back.
And some leftover. Our peppers look really crazy.
They're real crazy.
They look really crazy. But
We'll be cutting them down.
We're going to be cutting them back, and they will be coming back. The peppers do well usually on the second year. They were out in the cold too for a long time. And then we have some kale. This kale wasn't here. These are transplants. So don't knock them because right now they look terrible. But I need to take those leaves off. Give them the same opportunity, and they'll start looking like those because I'm doing the same process. That Swiss chard didn't belong here either. I don't know if any of you guys remember this garden bed, but there was, I think, was this the huge cannabis plant?
Yes.
Yeah. So none of this was here. So all of these are transplants, and this one came back from the year before. I chopped it down, that fennel, and now it's back. You see how abundant it is? Beautiful. So nothing was growing in this box because we had that huge cannabis plant. And now I use the area for a field of greens. So we're getting all of our green intake right now that we need, and they're steady growing up. And then I will transplant those. I have some onions I'm going to go and plant, and my husband got some more seeds. I don't have any room in these boxes because I see that they're filled and everything in it is coming up very well. So we're not going to play much with that. And then I have some new little seedlings here. I started from seeds. This little precious baby here and here, these are key limes right here. It started from seed. And I have some other plants indoors that are starting, and I'll be bringing those out to the tunnels as well. Those are cayenne peppers, capsicum, and they're coming. That's making a comeback.
Yes, it is. It was dying.
Totally dying too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not into just throwing plants away when it has a little. I know you can grow a new one, but I like saving them if I can. And that's still my thing, is just saying if there's some usefulness in that plant, or if it's another season, I'm going to go and try to work on it. So right now, today, that's what we're doing in this tunnel. And then we're going to move over to the next tunnel, and we'll show you that. We're going to take a quick break.
All right, we'll take you with us to the other tunnel. So I'm just going to sit you down here for a minute till we lift up this plastic. All right. Thank you. And by the way, I know viewers might have questions about why we go through the problems of at the moment lifting that plastic up, because we did this in a hurry before the cold snap came. And I'll be building a door on each of these high tunnels so that we can just open the door and walk in without lifting up the plastic and being somewhat inconvenienced. But the other side is, at least it protects our food. And we're going in now. Oops. Ooh, it's warm in here.
So this high tunnel has to be like maybe 70,
about 72, maybe 73.
Literally,
it's hot in here.
Hot. I am hot today. I'm hot and happy. Do you see these cabbages? They are so happy because they were just kind of like,
they were dying. They were hardly making it.
We got this last tunnel up. This is the last one, but they were like, can you please do what you did with the other plants and bring us inside? So they're doing beautiful.
Because we think that
coming back over here. This whole bed, and if you look at the previous ones, was totally dead. These are transplants. They weren't doing anything. And my husband, I think, is watering one day out of the week?
Yeah, 1 day out of the week, every 5 to 7 days.
Now we were in Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, zone
9A and B.
And as you can see, this one was huge. This is a huge cannabis tree here. This had nothing in it. So I've spreaded seeds, and as you can see now, they're taking off here. It doesn't look like it's a lot, but it's going to be another field. And this is okay because, again, it's like a cover crop. It'll be microgreens, as well as my husband has been giving it
Jadam fertilizer every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, Jadam fertilizer. And I'm going to come over here and mitigate again because I do see a lot of ants on my peppers right here.
Let me step out your way while you do that.
Against them. There's lots of ants. So I'm going to get my spray bottles, and they're doing what they're doing. They're mining aphids, and I see that, but this takes care of the aphids too. So I'm going to cut that down a little bit. We have strawberries over here. We have beautiful strawberries. All of these charred plants were out in other planter boxes out in our other garden beds that are not covered. And so they're making a comeback, and they're coming back nice and strong.
I'm going to water today's time.
Yeah, so today is a watering day too because the sun is nice and bright. He likes to water when it's nice and warm so nothing will freeze up. I have an ashwagandha plant that's coming up with a Swiss chard in that little container. And there's more greens over here than herbs. The herbs are mainly on the other side. But as you can see, we do have lots of plants coming up over here. Catnip.
You want to get your spray? I'll sit here and wait for you.
Okay, so I'm going to go get my spray so I can get busy in this one.
Okay.
Because we didn't have ants before in this one, so we kind of moved over.
All right. While she's doing that, I want to talk about the importance of growing your food. Overhead, you're going to hear jets. Nellis Air Force Base is about 11 miles from us. So you hear the military active duty people. They are practicing for a scenario that we hope never happens, war. So but they still have to keep the skills sharp. I am a veteran of United States Air Force and Army National Guard, and I appreciate the fact that these women and men are sacrificing themselves and their lives that they could be out probably uh, riding their bikes or hiking or whatever. I'm sure they can do that on off days anyway, but their lives are basically now towards protecting the country. And the life that you and I live, even as a veteran, is because of what they do. So I can tolerate the noise. I can just work around it. Um, I can say that having someone in your corner as uh, a partner and a wife uh, to be able to make a journey of gardening something very beautiful, very enjoyable, and worth pursuing, because the food that you get nowadays that's been packed in from other states, overseas, that's been constantly watered, uh, irradiated, you're not going to get the benefit that you do as you grow your own food in the soil that you prepped so that the food is nutritious with micro and macronutrients and full of enzymes and the life potential that it renders when you eat it, when you even eat it raw. And I hate to say raw because to me, how can you eat, say, a vegetable is raw? It's leafy, it's green, and every part of that vegetable is going to benefit your physical body. And you can see my wife now is doing her mitigating of insects and ants with the lemon spray she made, orange spray, orange peeling,
orange peels,
vinegar,
and what else?
Cloves
Cloves and water.
Cloves and water. Now this is bouncing around. I'm a budding. You might as well say I'm a budding YouTuber. I've been on YouTube since 2012, and I'm 68 years old. And I'm trying to learn how to make our channel very, very productive.
And I don't tell my age. Sorry.
Yeah, her age is unknown. Right, it is unknown. But mine, I don't care. You can see I got gray hair, so you can say that's an old dude. But no, I enjoy my life, and I try to live it to the fullest. Even being an injured vet, suffering, and there's times I am in pain, but I'm thanking my Heavenly Father for cannabis. Don't smoke weed. I do vape when I have to, but I tell you, the relaxation that my body goes through from the intense pain that I have from time to time is worth making me be able to garden and do all the activities I need to do. And a lot of the work is laborious, but I enjoy it, and we enjoy it.
Well, I'm a medicinal herbalist, always practicing, always learning.
Certified, man.
Certified. And I'll tell you something, as far as he's concerned, is talking about cannabis. I can grow any plant, and I tell you something, I believe in taking caution. So I'm not a person to take medication, period. But when you have to use cannabis, there's so many ways that you can use cannabis that are productive, that's going to help you. You can use the leaves as tea and drink those in a hot tea. There's so many properties to cannabis, and of course we all know that there's numerous things that it's good for. So if you're going to take the time to experiment or to use that as a medicinal herb, always remember that there's companion herbs too. But I'll talk to you more about that on my other channel, which is the Epicurean and the Herbalist. And also you can see us at our other store, the Herbal Triage, and we can discuss that in depth. But make sure, and I'm interrupting to make sure you hit the like button and subscribe today.
Subscribe button.
Subscribe. We need you. We really want to share information with you. We want to show show everyone that in Las Vegas, Nevada, you can do this. You don't have to live in the South. You don't have to live in we would love to live in an area that was more
weather tolerant.
Yes, weather tolerant, that we could say, yes, you know what, we have this nice wet weather, and but everybody knows we're on a water watch here in Las Vegas, but we're not using a lot of water because we're also morphing our system to be something that's more conducive. And there is condensation, right here going on in here. I don't know if you can see the drops of water. You can see my hands are wet. Condensation just dropping from here. So, and even in the summer it's going to be like this. So my husband is adopting a system, and we've been learning, trying to make sure that we get ready and prepared, that we can put in blowers, We can put in fans. We can make sure that we have what we need and continue to
Windows,
yes,
to vent the heat,
and continue to grow a garden. You know, it's all about, it's not just a garden. We do a lot of things. We exercise, we work out, we travel. We want to take you guys with us on our epic adventures when we're going out on the road. And we've done a lot of that as well. But it's called living a balanced life. And just because you are a senior doesn't mean life is over with. We want to show this to our the generations to come, our children,
yes, of course,
our grandchildren. We want to actually make sure everyone, whoever wants to be invited, we're not discounting anyone. We're just saying people, we need to see more people loving, doing things that's fun, doing things that take stress away, to make you feel good about life and not being depressed. You know, there's no set pattern on your lifestyle. You get to build your life every day. And so that's what we're doing, is building our life. And we love it.
Well, I think that's about the shortest live video we did, but we ask you to continue to follow us, please. Again,
Yes.
as my wife just relayed, hit the subscribe button. I'm working on the channel to make it look with some snap in it, so you'll see that subscribe button just pop up on the screen, where I can just say, oh yeah, hit the subscribe button and ring that bell. So I'm working on it, so if it looks like it don't have that pizzazz, please still watch us.
We're a work in progress.
We're a work in progress. And for that, we thank you very much for this time that you've given us, because we know that you don't have to look at our channel, but we appreciate it.
We do appreciate it.
So hit that bell, make your comments, and hit the subscribe button, and we'll be doing another live stream in a few days.
Growing conversations.
Growing conversations.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day.
Take care.
Take care, guys.
All right. These ants are mad with me. They said, how dare her? She just put down some stuff we don't like the smell.
Come in here spraying us.
Who did this to us?
Who do you think they are? Spraying us when we're out here in a natural environment doing what we do best.
We do what we do.
We can't help if you come in the territory that you created. Now we're going to bite you all on your skin
And make you weak.
and make you weak.
And you don't want to tolerate us. How dare you? The bugs don't want to eat us.